Novatos, thanks again for tuning into yet another video. We have another bike being released from Harley Davidson. Well, not really Harley Davidson. This is another bike that's being manufactured somewhere else in a different factory, not related with Harley, but it's got the Harley badging. So I don't know what you guys think about this. Of course, this is something that they've been doing with the X350. We saw that. You can see videos on the X350 in Florida. There's a dealership out in Florida that already have these bikes, and now we're getting another X440. That's what this bike is called. I didn't see the leaked images on this one. I'm surprised. So this one just kind of caught me off guard. So we have this one. Like I said, the X350 is made in China. I believe it's the 350 and the 500, and this is the X440, and this one's manufactured in India from a company called Hero Motorcycles. So this is them. They've been making bikes since 1985. So I guess it's a well-known manufacturer out in India. I was looking to see which bike this new X44 is based off of. You know, the frame, the engine, everything. Out of all the options that they have here available, none of them have a 440 or 400cc engine. So, I mean, this one looks to be the closest. But let's go back and look at this bike from, I guess, Harley Davidson. You guys let me know in the comments what do you guys think about what Harley's been doing, you know, rebranding other bikes, other manufacturers. This is something that we've seen the automobile industry do for a long time. You have it with Nissan and Infiniti. You have it with Lexus, Toyota. You have the same thing with all the GM lineup, Buick, Chevrolet, GM, GMC, Mopar with Dodge. I mean, this is just something that they've been doing. And then recently with the Supra, I believe it's a BMW and a Supra. So it's just, they use the same engine, the same frame. Everything's manufactured by somebody else, and then they just badge it with Toyota, like the Supra. Like I said, there's multiple different bikes. I mean, multiple different autos out there that do the same practice. So I'm not gonna hold Harley against anything, but I don't know. You guys let me know in the comments, what do you think? So let's check out these images from what appears to be a good source. So I think it looks all right. It's got that scrambler look to it. Sorry, I am coming down with another cold. We are now the end of May, and I'm coming down with this second cold. I just got off of the flu. It took me 5 weeks to fight this off, and now I'm sick again. So anyways, like I said, very similar to this bike. But I don't know. You guys let me know in the comments what you guys think. It's got that iconic color scheme, of course, black and orange. I think it looks pretty good so far. It's got a little bit of hint of the XR, the XR lineup. Like I said, a scrambler type of bike. You have inverted forks, a single cylinder engine, 440 cc's. It's a oil cooled or air cooled. I think it's an oil cooled bike. I believe it's an oil cooled. I haven't really looked into it. There's an article out there already if you guys want to look into it. But like I said, the manufacturer Hero Motorcycles, they don't make a 440cc bike, which is, like I said, I'm surprised. And they also don't make them with inverted forks. So if you guys look at the front of this bike, you can see that it's got inverted forks. Man, this cold sucks. So inverted forks, nice big single disc brake. These wheels look very familiar to, of course, the Sportsters, the irons, very similar. That front end, like I said, like a roadster, kind of like my bike, my Sportster, and just a scrambler type of feel or look to it. So I think it looks pretty good. I think it looks quite nice. Another option available out there. And if these are made, from a well-developed manufacturer, then they should be pretty good. But like I said, the Hero manufacturer in India, they don't make 440cc engines. So, who knows? The R&D, we don't know if they've been put to the test so far. So very similar to this bike. Like I said, this is the one that looks most similar to. So you guys let me know in the comments what you guys think about this bike. It looks very similar to the X350 lineup. So I mean, it's even with the name, the X440, X350, and maybe the X500. They all look very similar. It's going to cost them a lot less to produce these bikes, of course, because another manufacturer's making them. They don't have to invest time or anything like that in the manufacturing to build these bikes, which is, it just saves them, it saves them a buck or two. So you guys let me know in the comments what you guys think. So it's got, of course, some lines like the other bikes, external shocks, not a monoshock. So far, it's going to be a small little bike. And I believe it's got like 20 horsepower or something like that. 20 horsepower. I was reading a little bit up on it, but you can see some LEDs over here. Nice bright LED right here in the center. You have some bar and shield badging on the signal lights, which is quite nice. Like I said, you have inverted forks on this bike, and you have some moto style handlebars on the bike as well. And here's the tank badging on it. You guys can check it out. I like the colors. All right, the colors look pretty good. Black and orange looks good, kind of like my Lowrider S. It's got the same colors to it. It's black and a bronze, very subtle but quite nice. Very tasteful. And here's the single cylinder 440cc engine. Like I said, air cooled, oil cooled. I think it's oil cooled, like I mentioned. And here's the back of it. A chopped fender. And then, of course, the full fender with the rear fender mud flap, or whatever you want to call it, or license plate holder, or whatever that's going to be. And, of course, you have more LED turn signals, which is quite nice. Typically, for you to get LED from the manufacturer, from Harley, you have to spend about $52,000, kind of like on their CVOs. So this one, I believe that might be a light. Maybe, not entirely sure. I know that's a reflector. That could be a tail light, which is kind of bizarre for Harley to have it this tall. But I think it looks all right. I think it looks all right. Is it something that I'm going to be buying? No, I'm not going to be buying this at all. But hey, who knows? Maybe if the price is right, if it's $3,000, $4,000, maybe something to kind of try out, check it out. But like I said, you guys let me know in the comments what do you guys think. And here's the images of the X350. This one's manufactured in China, and you guys are probably complaining about these bikes being manufactured in different countries outside of the United States. But check this out right here. All right, so this is from a Lowrider S. This wheel looks very similar. You can check that out, and you could just see what it says right here: made in China. So a lot of the bikes that we buy now from Harley are assembled, in Harley and in the United States, but most of the parts are shipped and imported from other parts of the world. A lot of the electronics, the harnesses, a lot of the parts are made in Mexico. And then, of course, you see this is made in China. A lot of the gear that I have, a lot of their apparel is made in China. Everything that I purchased recently, everything I got, shirts, jackets, sweaters, hats, everything was made in China. So I'm not surprised. All right, these wheels, which Harley, if you buy them off the catalog, they're like $800, and I mean they probably make them for what is this? Maybe $30, $40, $60 in China. I don't really get what Zeiss was talking about, how they don't make any money on these bikes.
We were very much market share driven. We didn't look at profitability. So we discounted our bikes for several years just to keep the market share up, and that was unsustainable. So we changed that and really put desirability as the overarching goal.
That's why we saw the price increase with the Street Bob, with the Sportster S, the Revolution Max, bikes. I'm not going to rant or anything like that, but I don't really see how they could justify price increases when they're exporting a lot of their goods. I know a lot of their saddlebags, their fairings, a lot of those things are made in China, and I believe even their day makers are also made in China. A lot of the stuff is made in China. So the bikes are assembled here, and they're also assembled in Thailand. That's one of the recent factories that they opened up within the last 2 years, 3 years. I can't remember. Is it something, like I said, is it something that you might, consider buying in the near future? Probably not. It's, kind of like their street rods, the 500 and the 700, I believe. Yeah, I mean, there's better bikes, cheaper bikes for what Harley's going to be asking, but they have to be competitive with these prices. Just because it has the badging on it doesn't justify charging $9,000. So kind of like what we saw with the Livewire. Sorry if I'm rambling, but just one more little fact here: the Livewire retailed at $30,000 when it was released. $29,000. This was way back when, and of course it had the Harley Davidson badging on it. $29,000. A year later, the bike MSRP, or the price tag, was cut by $9,000, and it wasn't. It didn't have the Harley badging. It had Livewire. It was just Livewire.
No mames.
I don't know. Harley Davidson adding $9,000 onto the Livewire just because it had the badging of Harley, the Bore and Shield. I mean, if I was one of those fellows that bought one of the Livewires year one, and then saw them release it the following year at a $9,000 discount, $10,000 discount, I'd be pretty upset about it. So, anyways, share your thoughts down below. Another Harley Davidson coming to the lineup, on top of the Revolution Max, the Milwaukee 8s, the touring models, and now these little bikes from China and India. You guys stay out there, stay safe. Life's a risk. Get out there and ride. Later.